as far as like buying ecosystem tokens, I wonder if that's the type of thing that just doesn't translate because Bitcoin has a great story. It has seen unbelievable returns. It's very popular. The recent Ethereum DAT trend, a bit more surprising, but also makes sense. Ethereum is, one of the oldest cryptos. It has kind of this storied history as well. If you look at a lot of ecosystem tokens in any ecosystem, they mostly go to zero over a long time horizon, or they see like terrible price action. Um, and I just wonder if that story is too complicated slash risky for investors to want to undertake. Like I think it's sort of the way things currently go. Even if you want to talk about altcoins, it'll be like, hey, we launched a hyperliquid treasury and we're going to buy this much hyperliquid, and then investors will value it at 1.3x that amount, and it's that simple. But if you then get into this kind of complex valuation involving all these locked Solana ecosystem tokens I'm going to buy, like do you kind of lose the thing that's making this fragile dance keep going with DATs right now?
Yeah, I think it takes a while to get to that point. And I'm far more DeFi and crypto native than majority of the investors, so that is naturally my preference, and I see a long-term potential to supporting some of those teams. Two answers to that. One is I'm advocating some of the DAT teams to acquire those tokens via usage. So instead of outright purchasing them, some of them are running continuous liquidity mining incentives. As a DAT, you don't need to sell those assets, but if you're LPing or if into Radium, or if you're using Drift or using some of the other protocols, you're naturally getting token exposure, which is awesome. And that's a benefit that comes with using DeFi versus like using a centralized exchange to execute your trades, or using like a market maker. So that's one, you don't necessarily have to buy them. I think two is the difference is previously a lot of these tokens go to zero because the team stopped working on it. And I think that's still the case for a lot of teams. They TGE and then sort of like quit. But that's not true for a lot of the top tier teams. Like you see Aave still building here. Morpho is probably going to be around for a very long time. I think the same is true for some of the top teams on Solana. I believe they will be around, and some of the decentralizing or succession. So some of these teams, you start seeing like what like public company corporate governance looks like. It's a healthy succession of leadership. And sure, the original founder maybe decides to step back or retire, but you're seeing new professional management teams step up. And when you see that and you see consistent growth, revenue, user base, that's when I think the tokens maintain value, because I'm not saying they're equity or securities, they're a different form of exposure to the protocol's growth. And as long as the protocol is still growing, I think people will start to be able to underwrite them. And I'm already seeing that with liquid funds. Like previously liquid funds, they didn't exist. And now 2025, I'm seeing actually more liquid funds than traditional venture